Okay, so coming to virtual machine, we have like physical machine and we have virtual machine. So when you are going to compare with physical and virtual, so in virtual, it is like VMware tool will be there, right? And there will be operating system, all the resources like you talk about memory, CPU, your NIC, network adapters, your DRIX, controllers, ports, serial port, parallel ports, all those things also required as a virtual, right? And it is easy to manage, but it is going to use your underlying hardware, underlying resource, hardware resources only, right? But it is going to give you you can host multiple VMs, multiple servers on your high level hardware environment, and you can play around, and it is not, and it will be kind of isolated environment also, no restriction of operating system. So there is a lot of there is a list of operating system which are supported on VMware, right? Mostly supported, except few like I already talked about, like AIX, Sun Solaris, and
Solaris.
HP Unix. All those things I've never seen, VMware environment. But yes, you can host Linux, CentOS, all those operating system, right? When coming to your physical machine, your virtual machine and physical machine, so how you are going to compare those? That's important thing actually. What is your how you are going to compare, like in physical server or physical machine to virtual machine?
Um, I mean, difference. How you want me to explain the difference? It could be
Different.
difference. Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, you want me to talk
Management.
about the benefits
Yeah,
of
benefit.
virtual machines? Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Operating system.
in what really happens is when you have virtual machine, you have flexibility of increasing and decreasing the resources that you have. Maybe that could be RAM, that could be your hard drive, that could be the processing power, uh, the compute power that you have. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of the advantage of using virtual machines. The other is if due to any reason your OS fails, you
Mm-hmm.
can immediately recover using a shadow copy or whatever image that you have of your VM, complete image of the VM. You can recover it immediately. So your downtime is minimized with virtual
Mm-hmm.
machines. Migrating from one ESXi to the other one, it's easy. Maybe if you want to switch or move the VMs from one uh, maybe one host to the other, it may be in those
Mm-hmm.
cases it's easier.
Mm-hmm.
um, Plus if you talk about physically, if you have 10 different hardware, then you have to have more manpower to manage that hardware if you want to change anything. However,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of maintenance in virtual, it's only one hardware that you have, and you have multiple machines. So in terms of management, physical maintenance, it's easier.
Right, right.
And yeah, I think I covered most of it.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, a lot of this is a long list actually, but we have to
Yeah.
think about administration part, right? As a VMware administrator or virtualization administrator, life will be easy, right? And also provisioning, the provisioning
Hmm.
of the VM. Suppose you have to build, like we talk about the build process, right? So build
Mhm.
process of the server or a build process of any machine or VM. In physical, it's like nightmare. It's like complicated actually when you talk about any physical server, build process. First, you need
Mhm.
hardware. PO will be released, right? It will be approved and it go to vendor. Vendor will deliver the hardware. It will be rack mounted into your data center. You're going to install operating system. So long story. In cut short, in virtualization, if you have already infrastructure is available, you need not to worry about all those things. It's like 1 hour job, 2 hour job with ready all your requirement, or what are all application required. And also, suppose you are doing something in your physical machine, right? You did
Mhm.
something wrong. So human error is like expected, like people can, so it is expected that people can do some mistakes in installation or in doing some configuration part also. or something
Mhm.
like that. Something went wrong in a physical machine, you cannot revert, sir. Getting my point?
Mhm.
Something you have made, so you have to again go to uninstallation, all the process all together. But in virtual machine, you have option of snapshot. Remember, we have,
Yeah.
you remember Hyper-V, there was, we have also option of snapshot and we call it a
Mhm.
checkpoint. Something was there, remember?
Mm.
Checkpoint.
Checkpoint.
By
Yeah.
because we are meeting after 1 month, so checkpoint you might be forgotten, but just remember there was checkpoint, but here we call it as snapshot. So,
Mm.
like you take a snapshot, you do whatever you want to do, okay, and something went wrong, just restore from your snapshot. So you need not to worry about. And suppose you have to do some testing, right? So test
Mhm.
environment, production environment. So all those things are very easy to manage in virtual machine, right? And also, suppose your company is using VMware, right?
Mhm.
And your management is coming, your uh, uh, we call it like your technical management team is coming, your TCO, what we call CIO, right? CTO coming to
CTO.
you and is telling, hey, Gurpreet, we don't want to continue with VMware virtualization. Okay?
Mhm.
Next player is waiting for us. That is VMware, there's a Microsoft
Hyper-V.
Hyper-V or Citrix Hypervisor. Can we move to that?
Mhm.
Suppose you have a physical environment and moving those physical machines from one data center to another data center or the environment, it is hectic job, right? But if
Yeah.
you have virtualized environment, irrespective of any vendor, you can move easily from one hypervisor to another hypervisor. And also, if your CTO is coming to you, hey, can we move to cloud now? Our virtual machine from VMware to Azure Cloud to our Google Cloud or AWS. Life will be easy, right? If you
Mhm.
have to move your physical server from your on-prem to your cloud, think about the problems. First, cloud player will say, no, don't migrate physical machine. We can create same as a virtual machine into our environment. Because if you're going to move those physical machines into our cloud, public cloud, we are going to charge you this amount actually. So that will be very costly business, and
Mhm.
also it is not going to easy baby, right?
Yeah.
Think about compare your virtual machine and physical machine. So it's a long story. In cut short, life is going to be easy for VMware administrator, for virtualization administrator, and also the application teams also. So provisioning, it is going to decrease the time of the provisioning, right? And also, if you remember, I think we used to use this ghost image, right, for
Yeah.
building our laptop or desktop, right? In the same
Mhm.
way, we can create clone, we can do the cloning, we can create a clone, and what we can do, we can install everything, and we can create as image, kind of optimized image of any operating system with installed core applications, or with antivirus and other things, the primary like core applications, the requirement of any server, any desktop, anything actually. So those things also very easy in virtualization, right? End to end, it is like no comparison with physical to virtual. So virtual is already always superior to the physical one, right? Anything else I'm just missing you want to add?
Not really.
Okay, so coming to this, the tools. What are the tools available? Actually, we are referring here VMware vSphere 6.5. I'm going to talk about the historical journey of the VMware to make you aware where the journey started from the VMware and what is the current version is running.
Mhm.
6 point is the last stable version. Still, companies are running on that. People didn't
Mhm.
migrate to 7.0 because that's very new. And
Mhm.
6.7 was not stable. That's why people are still relying on 6.5. So coming to here, so these are like here it is showing you how you have like vSphere client and the downside vSphere client, and so it is already announced as a EOL, end of life. So from the 6.7 and 7.0, it will be not available. You have to only
Mhm.
use vSphere web client because
Okay.
it is all about like you have appliance based solution even for virtual center as well, right? And this is VMware host client to access your ESXi. So this is your ESXi, and it is connected to virtual center. And these are the by three methods you can access your VMware environment, right? You can go for directly your ESXi client. You can go to
Mm,
web client, like published as a IIS published. There's a website published
mm,
URL for your VMware vSphere, and this is the local client. So you have to access, but this is really already end of life announced from 7.0 6.7. You're not going to see, you cannot connect with vSphere client. And this is
okay.
user. So user, like as administrator, we are going to connect all those console, and we are going to manage our VMware environment. Okay.
Mm,
So this is like web client, this is console it's showing here. This is vSphere client, and as already told you, it is already end of life. It is not going to be continued by the VMware itself. And this is for your, when you install your ESXi, you want to connect with your directly ESXi, and you want to as a new environment, right? You want to configure everything like your DNS, NTP servers, your licensing, all those sort of things you can do from here. Okay. So this is all for your VMware vSphere 6.5 demo. Thanks for joining. I hope
thank
any
you.
questions, you have any questions, you can ask here.
No, no, that was quite clear. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks. Bye bye.